I don't know if you've noticed, but Canva recently rolled out, kind of silently, a couple of features that makes it a very powerful photo editing solution. In this video, we are going to dive deep into these new photo editing features, both on mobile and on desktop. Let's go. Okay, let's wait for this chair, very noisy chair. Okay. What is up everyone, Ronnie here. Welcome back to our channel. I love being here with you every week to teach you new stuff about Canva. This is the place for you to learn everything about Canva, how to become a better designer and grow your business with visual communication. And if this is your first time on the channel, well, welcome and consider subscribing because we have 2 new tutorials every week. One from me, one from Diana. This week's topic is all about editing your photos. So Canva recently released a new button both on the mobile and on the desktop version of Canva, which allows you to basically edit your photos and do nothing else than editing photos with Canva. So let me first of all start with a little bit of context. Like if you're like me, most of the photos you will be taking will be from your mobile phone. And so we are going to be started from the mobile because it's most likely that your latest photos are in your camera roll or in your photo library if you use an Android phone. So what we are going to be doing is use our phone. I already have Canva open here. This is the mobile version of Canva. It's not the app, it's simply the browser. I use Chrome on my phone. I also have the app. So everything I'm going to show you works both on the app and on the mobile version of Canva in your browser. So the first thing is, how do you import your photos, right? So once you are on the Canva homepage, use the little purple button here that says plus. So tap on that and you will see the first item or the second item here on the menu says edit photo. So I'm going to tap on this and then I can choose a photo from the library. I can take a photo, I can choose a file on my phone. So I will choose a photo from my library and I will choose this photo of me. This is a photo that was taken when I started working at Canva as my employee headshot. So I'm going to choose this and I come to this screen. So from here I can choose basically if I want to use this photo in its original dimensions, and I have the dimensions here on top of the screen. Okay, so it says 1365 pixel, that's the width, and 2048 pixel, that's the height of the photo. So I can choose these dimensions, or if I look at the bottom of my screen, I have different types of other documents here. Instagram post, so Canva will create a square 1x1 post, or a story, a Facebook post, etc, etc. These are preset document types that you can use your photo into. But here I'm mostly interested in retouching this photo, maybe enhancing this photo a little bit so it pops a bit more. So I'm going to use my photo dimensions. Once I made my choice, just tap on create and there you go. So what Canva is going to do here, it's going to open a document with the photo dimensions and my photo is right here. It's ready for me to kind of enhance. So this tutorial is going to be divided into different parts. Okay, the first part, I'm going to teach you how to enhance your photo. So we are going to dive into the different settings, the sliders, and I'm going to do this part from my mobile phone. And then I'm going to go back to my computer, open Canva and find the same photo I was working on from my mobile. And I will use this photo to create a piece of content that I might be sharing on social media, for example. So I want to show you the workflow. So you can start with your mobile and then continue the workflow on the computer. So back to my mobile, back to my photo that I want to edit. In order to edit it, you'll have to tap on the photo, okay? You can add text, photos, and graphics to your design. So a little pop-up message from Canva here. I'm gonna close that. And the first thing I want to do is to find this adjust button right here. I'm gonna tap on this, and Canva now has a bunch of sliders here, starting with brightness, contrast, saturation, tint, blur, etc, etc. I have a bunch of different sliders. So what I'm going to do is to adjust the brightness of my phone to a maximum so I can see exactly what I'm doing here. So I see this photo is pretty well exposed. I'm not going to mess too much with the brightness, maybe a little bit, like 4. Contrast, not too much either. I would say yes, 7. Saturation, I don't think I need to touch that. I don't like to look more red or yellow than I already am. So let's keep keep it to 0. Tint as well, blur as well. The blur, for example, it's very interesting slider here, the blur. If your photo is slightly out of focus or is slightly blurry, you can use the blur slider and slide it to the left. If you slide it to the left, here you see it makes me completely horrible. But if your photo is a little bit blurry, maybe anywhere from -5 to -10 can really help you sharpen this photo. But here it was completely focused because it was taken by a good photographer, so I don't need to do this. Okay, what else can I do? Vignette, I don't want that. Warm, clarity. Clarity as well, like you can use clarity to make your image a little bit more vibrant, which could be good. I'm gonna go for 21. Vibrance is also the same thing, like slightly similar to saturation, but not that strong. So vibrance, let's go for 30 or so, 29, let's go 30. The highlights, these will basically accentuate your highlights, so the lightest part of your photo. So if you do this, the luminous part of your photo, always good. Let's go for 14. Shadows, it's the opposite, so it will accentuate the darker part of your photo. I'm not gonna mess with this too much. And fade, I'm not sure what fade, oh yeah, it kind of fades out the colors. So once you're happy with it, you can simply close this window by tapping the X button. And now I'm happy with this result. I'm not gonna go any further from the mobile app because I want to pick up this workflow from my computer and switch to have a bigger screen to work with and more, not more options, but more screen real estate to really be creative with this photo because I want to take this to the next level. Now I have a good looking photo. It's there, it's saved. So what I can do from here is export it. So if I tap on this little button right here on the upper right corner that kind of has the arrow pointing up, I have my exporting options. I can download, share, email, print, etc., etc. If I tap on download, I can choose my format. We have the PNG, which is the suggested option with high quality image, JPEG, PDF, etc., etc. So let's go for PNG. The size, I won't change it. Transparent background, no. Compress, no. Just download this photo. So Canva is going to prepare the photo, download it, and I will be finding this photo in my camera roll. All right, so my image is downloaded. It is now ready to discover. I'm gonna head over to my library, my photo roll, and there we go. We have the photo right here looking good. So that's the export. Now, switching back to my computer. All right, I am now back in my computer and this is the Canva homepage. You can see a design right here. I didn't name it. I should have named it. So let's do this right now. Let's call this photo of Ronnie. Okay, we can see this is the document with my photo inside of it. And if I click on that photo and go to the edit image button and then the adjust settings here, I'll click on see all, you will see that these settings have been, of course, kept as I modified them on my mobile. So you can see the brightness I added, the contrast, the clarity, vibrance, etc. So this is the first thing I wanted to show you, that you start the workflow on your mobile because this is where your photos are, and then you come to your computer once you've done your first touches, or if you just want to import the photo and don't do anything, you just import the photo into Canva. And by all means, at this stage, you can only import one photo at the time. So this is a little bit of a limitation, I would say. Let's hope that in the future you can import batches of photos and then they will all open in different pages of your Canva document. But for the time being, it's only one photo at the time. But if you really want to work on a photo, you could import it into Canva, rename that document, and then switch over to your computer and do the adjustments from your computer. Okay, so for that, I'm going to get out of the adjust panel right here. And I'm going to get out of everything, clicking out of the photo. I'm just here in my editor and you can see the photo right here. We are still in the document that has the exact dimensions of this photo. So from here, basically, I have different options. I can work on this document, or if I know what I'm trying to create is an Instagram post, for example, or an Instagram story, I could resize. So if you're a pro user, you will have the ability to resize your document in one click. So if I click on resize, I can open an Instagram post, okay, copy and resize. I will do that. It will open a new tab. It will create a new tab in Canva where my square Instagram post will show with my photo inside. Okay, so it is up to me now to kind of reframe this photo, to make it smaller, bigger, whatever I like. I'm just going to recenter it for now. So that's one way. That's if you have Canva Pro. If you don't have Canva Pro, what you can do from here is to download your photo and then you re-upload that as an image into Canva, and then you create whatever type of document you wish and you work with that photo. So that's the other option. Okay, but for now, I want to show you more photo editing options because this tutorial is really about photo editing. One thing I want to do before I do that is going back to the home page and show you how you can import a photo just like we did on our phone. Remember, with the plus button on the home page. On the desktop version, there is no plus button like the purple plus button that was here on mobile. But the way to import a photo directly on desktop is to go to create a design, and then at the bottom here of this menu you will see 3 different round buttons, and the middle one says edit photo. So this is the same option as the previous one. This will open a window allowing you to browse your computer, so just find a photo and upload it. So I'm just quickly going to open a photo. I'm going to take the same one right here. Okay, so this is what you will have. Okay, you will have your photo and you can choose to edit the photo similar to using the same dimension, or you can use in a design. I'm going to click on edit the photo and this document will open with my photo. So that is a different way of getting to the same result of opening a document that has the dimension of your photo, but this time on desktop. All right, just thought I would show that to you as well. Now back to my photo that I picked up from my camera roll on my mobile phone that I started enhancing also on my phone. Let's go deeper. If I click on the photo and go to edit image, I will have more options here. Okay, so let's go over them. I try to make sense of these different types of, I would say, features in Canva under the edit image button. I realized there are really 3 types of features. Number 1 is the enhance features. The second set is about transforming your photo. So really you are going to modify the original photo. The most, I would say, impressive one, and this is only for pro user, is the background remover. By now, you probably know what background remover is, what it does. Basically, it gets rid of your background, okay? So how to use it? It's super simple. With your photo selected, just click on background remover, a couple of seconds, a couple of loading wheel going on here, and then the background of your image will be completely removed, leaving you with only the main subject of the image. You will also have the ability to kind of correct the background removal process with the brush here. So here it did this perfectly, even between my arms right here, or even the little space between my right arm right here. So it's perfect. I don't need to touch up on anything, but I could use the brush to either erase additional parts of my background that might not have been erased or removed, or restore. If I restore the background by painting like so, can do that as well. Not gonna do that, so I'm gonna erase this. You can change the brush size. I'm going to quickly remove that. And once you're good to go, you just click on done and apply the effect. Okay, so I got rid of my background, so this is pretty cool. Again, this is a pro feature. You won't have this if you're using Canva for free. What you can do from here, you can see I cannot really select my photo anymore. I cannot move this. This is because the photo is being used as a background, okay, of this document. So what you can do is right click and then detach image from background. Do this, then you will be able to use this photo to move it around your design. Okay, so that's enough for the background remover. I think by now everybody must know what background remover is. Okay, so I'm gonna add another page. And one thing I should have done here, instead of cropping my photo myself from the background on the original photo, I should have duplicated the page so I can keep the original photo. I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is to show you how you can go back to the original photo from this. If you click on your photo, go to edit image, you can restore your original photo. Okay, so let me try something here because I want to have my background removed photo, but I also want the original one. So I'm going to duplicate this page with the photo, and this one I want to restore to the original. Perfect, it worked. So I can do that. And I'm going to stretch it so it's full page. And I'm going to move this one up. This is the first page, and then my second page with the background removed. Perfect. So I just wanted to show you, you can restore your photo to the original. But that's super easy with a photo that has been modified, like this one. Click on edit image, restore to original. Everything you've done on the photo will be lost, will be restored to the original. So pretty useful. Okay, now, what else can I do from here? Well, if I click on my original, go back to edit image, I have more options. So I told you the first set is to enhance, okay, we covered that. The second set is to transform. The first transform feature that we've seen is the remove background, but there are others, okay? The other features that I would consider form part of the transform features are Smart Mockups. So Smart Mockups is a very cool feature that allows you to create mockups, as the name indicates. So what is a mockup? Well, it's when you place a specific photo on a product or in a specific other image. So it looks like you are using this object on your photo in real life situations. So you can place that photo, for example, on a t-shirt, on a mug, inside a phone, anything you want really. So if you click on the Smart Mockup app right here, on your menu should be visible to everyone because Canva actually acquired Smart Mockup. So it's no longer an app you need to install from the bottom. Sometimes when you don't have all the apps installed, you have to kind of click on it, say that you want to use it, and then it shows on your menu. Smart Mockup should be pre-installed for you. So let me show you an example. I'm going to click on See All. So this photo, I would like to have it on, let's say, in a phone that someone is holding in its hand. So like that, and there you go. Now you have your photo right there with my photo inside. It's like someone is watching me on their phone, like so. I can adjust this obviously. And so you can create some pretty cool commercial designs with this. You can really go and be creative. And I really encourage you to explore the Smart Mockup app right here because there is a ton of different applications, okay? So if I want to go back to my original, again, click on Edit Image, Restore to Original. Just need to restore this to its original size as well because I stretch it. And there we go, we have our original image. So that was Smart Mockup. It is a transform feature in my opinion. I'm gonna duplicate this page as well. Okay, continuing exploring our transform features here. The next one I want to talk about is shadows. If you want to add a shadow to your images, if you want to make them pop out of the page or kind of seem like they are lifted from the page, use shadows. This is super convenient. I realized that shadows work best when you remove the background. So I'm going to use shadow on this image right here. I already removed the background. So the way you do this, you find the shadow section. It's not here, it might be here at the bottom. So make sure you find it first and then click on See All. And you will see that you have 6 different shadows that you can use. You have glow, drop, angle, curve, page lift, and backdrop. I like to use page lift for some of the stuff I use, mostly when I use a thumbnail. So when I create like animated post for the community tab on Facebook, I put a thumbnail of the latest video that we published, and then I use curved to kind of make the image, the thumbnail, seem like it's hovering over my page. With a portrait like this one, it doesn't work so well, so I'm not going to use this one effect. I'm going to find another one. So for example, drop here would be probably more appropriate. Yes, you see, seems like the light comes from right here and then you can see the shadow here. What I love about shadows, if you click on the little setting button here, you have more options. So here I can see the shadow is pretty strong, it's pretty solid. So I want this to be more faded. You get this result by reducing the transparency to make the shadow look a little bit more natural. Shouldn't be that hard. And also it could be a little bit more blur. You see, if you reduce the blur all the way to the left, it's gonna be very straight lines and edges. But if you blur some more, then you have a more natural shadow. You can play with the angle of the shadow, which is nice, and the offset, which is the distance between the shadow and the actual subject. I'm gonna use that, maybe a little bit less transparency to make it a bit darker shadow, and there you go. You have a quite realistic shadow. You can add a background color to this photo. For example, this yellow right here, and there we go. We have a realistic shadow created on your photo. So you have transformed your photo. And I find it also super cool that Canva lets you combine different effects and features together to really go deeper and to really multiply almost exponentially the possibilities of editing your photos. You see, I combine here the remove background with the adjustment with the shadow. So these are already 3 effects or 3 different transformations I added to a photo, and you can combine them. And I could add more. I could really go much deeper down this rabbit hole of transforming your photos. Okay, coming back to this image right here, and you will see we'll end up the document with a bunch of different variations of the photos because, yeah, you can really create and go deep. So coming back to this one, edit image, I want to show you one more trick with shadows, okay? So clicking on shadow, I want to show you how to create an outline around a photo. First, let me add a background here. So I want to use a kind of a dark background. Again, select my image, edit image, shadows, use the glow, okay? The first one. If you use the glow and play around with the settings, of course, you need to change the color from black to something else. I'm gonna use white. So you see now there's a glow around here, which is already quite cool, but you can do much cooler. If you reduce the transparency, actually, you have to augment the transparency all the way to 100, and then you play with the size. There you go. And the blur, you don't want any blur. You just want this to be, you see the blur will create like some sort of a glow effect. If that's what you are going for, by all means, this could actually look pretty cool. Or you can just go for the straight line like this. Let me zoom in to show you. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I can play around with the color of this as well. So I've created an easy outline around myself. I can go like thin all the way to kind of this thick. This is okay. And I believe you can really also duplicate the shadow. I'm gonna apply this one and see if I can apply another layer around this one. So again, I'm gonna go to edit image, shadow glow, and choose another color. Let's say this pink right here. Okay, so now I added the pink. Again, I'm going to go for full transparency, adjust the size, and yes, I can see this is actually working, which is cool. I think I was at 19 with the first layer, and I'm gonna do like so. You see, this is my second layer. So actually I found something that works here. I'm gonna apply this, and you can continue adding layers to this photo in different colors to create a cool effect. I'm gonna add a third one and then I'm gonna move on. But this is actually something I've never done before. I just realized we could do this right now. Okay, so what color would go well with this? Let me figure out another color. Let's go for yellow, why not? And I'm gonna apply the same setting. You can also type in your settings here. So let's say 19, transparency, none, and the blur was also all the way to 0. Yes, apply, and there we go. Now we have this photo right here. I can use another kind of color here in the background, like this blue. And you have created an interesting design, an interesting concept. You can go with this, you can play around, you can have fun with your outlines. So this is just one of the applications, because you realize you can combine these different photo filters, photo effects, and create something completely new. All right, I want to show you a bit more before I wrap up the tutorial. I want to talk about some more recent effects that have been added to Canva, okay? So for this, I'm going to go back to my original photo. Let me reduce the size so we can see it full screen. Again, click on it. I'm gonna use the second page actually. Click on it, go to your photos, and you should see in the tool section, Auto Enhance, Auto Focus, and Face Retouch. So these are good for kind of retouching your photo. Auto Enhance is basically, it's going to apply a set of presets or a set of different settings to your photo so that it auto enhances it. It's like a magic wand that would make your photo a little bit more beautiful. You can see the original, see the enhanced one, and you have this intensity slider. So it's just the intensity of the effect applied to your photo. This is pretty cool. Once you're happy with it, just click on apply. I'm gonna cancel this one. The second one I want to show you is also going all the way down, is autofocus. Okay, autofocus is not gonna do much with this one photo because the background is already kind of plain. But if you have another photo, let's add a photo here. Get rid of this background. Looking for a photo under the elements. Okay, I'm gonna search for dog, a dog, but I need the photo of a dog. So I'm going to filter this by photos. And I want something where the dog, yes, this one will work. Okay, so just making this full screen. Okay, done. So I see my dog and something going on in the background. If I use the autofocus feature, which is a new feature, see it's still in beta, what's going to happen here is that I will have the opportunity to make the subject of the image really pop out of the background. You see how the background got blurred? Like quite a bit got blurred here. So it allows you to create this bokeh effect, even though your photo was taken with a normal smartphone, not a professional camera. And this is pretty cool. Like if I go all the way to 0, you see the original photo. But if you add this bokeh effect, Like it seems like you have actually shot this on a very fancy camera. You can also play with the blur position, but I found it to be working best if I don't move this slider too much. I'm gonna apply this, and then you have this very cool looking photo. It looks like, yeah, you are a real king at photography. And then the last new feature I want to show you is the face retouch, okay? If you select a portrait like this one, you go to edit image and you find this time the face retouch. You click on this one and you'll have 4 different tabs right here. The first one is auto, which is a combination of the 3 later feature I'm going to talk about right here, which are smoothening your skin, whitening your teeth, or whitening your eyes if you have red eyes because of the camera. So for this, I'm going to zoom in on my face right here. Why am I so pixelated? This is not normal. Let me figure this out, maybe with the original photo. Yes, I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, it's just loading actually. Okay, that's a bit too big. Let's go for this one. Okay, so you click on this image, edit, face retouch, and here you have these different effects. Okay, so again, you will have a slider with the intensity of the effect. So you see if I click on auto, this is what happened. Show the original and then auto applied. I can see, yes, a little bit of the smoothening of the skin on my forehead. It's quite light, so depending on the quality of your screen, the size of your screen, you might not notice it. I'm gonna push it a bit more, so maybe it's more obvious. Yeah, now it's kind of more obvious. I have a pretty good screen here on my MacBook, but you should be able to see that. So look at the teeth, for example, much whiter, and my forehead, less wrinkle. But yeah, that's kind of what it does on auto. And then you can just go granular and change each and individual setting, like the skin, the teeth, and the eyes. So you can play around with this. Once you're happy, you just click on apply. So that's another new feature, kind of part of the photo editing suite that Canva recently rolled out. All the ones that says beta are the newest one. There are 3. Okay, there is one last category. Remember I told you there were 3 categories of effects. The first one is enhancement. Okay, how to enhance your photos. Second one is to transform. We've covered a bunch of these. And the third one are your filters. Canva has a bunch of filters, some older ones, some new ones, some timeless ones that you cannot live without. I'm gonna cover this, but before we do that, I would like to take a moment to recognize this week's comment of the week. Every week, I like to do this because I read all of the comments. And this week, I have this one from Sarah. And Sarah says, there is no reason for you to get a dislike. She's talking about this community post that I created last week. I was saying, oh, you know, like there's this debate on YouTube, they are going to get rid of the dislike button. But you know what? It doesn't really affect us because we barely get any dislikes on our videos. And then I was showing like a screenshot of our analytics where you could see the ratio of like and dislike on our videos, which is pretty low. Like we get maybe 1-2 dislikes per video, which is nothing. So that was my flex post. And she says, there is no reason for you to get a dislike. You two are awesome. So simple and so valuable content. I've learned more from you than any other source. Looking forward for your new videos, 5-star. So Sarah, thank you for this lovely comment. We really appreciate that. Basically, you trust us, you trust the content, and you expect every video, you are anticipate every video every week. This is very cool because it means a lot to us who spend some time creating the videos. So thank you for this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And if you're watching and you think, oh, should I leave them a comment? I have a question. Go ahead, leave that comment. Leave us your questions or just tell us what you think of the channel. We always love reading them. All right, back to the tutorial. We have a last set of features to cover, which are the filters. Canva has a bunch of filters for you to use on your photos. So you can do this from your computer, or you can go back to your phone and finish the work you started there. I'm gonna finish it from the computer, but it's really up to you. So where do you find these filters? So again, you need to start with the edit image button, and then you can simply scroll. My favorite of all time is the Duotone filter. Okay, I don't know if you call this a filter or an effect, but the Duotone one, for me, it's gold. So how does it work? Just click on it, see all, and then you will see these preset Duotone filters already made for you. I have a little favorite in the bunch, which is the pop one. So you just click on it. Canva will apply this Duotone effect to your photo. If you want to adjust this result, click on the little setting button right here, and then you can change each of the colors that are being used. So basically the Duotone uses 2 colors, changes the light colors for this color and the darker color, the shadow colors for another one, and it creates this cool effect. So you can adjust the intensity as well. So basically how much of the effect you want to apply. But what I like is that you can really change the colors. So let's say I want to go with these kinds of colors right here. You can totally do this. So you can create on-brand duotone effects, which is magical if you use your brand colors like I just did. This is our Team Rondi yellow and the pink. So that's what I just did right here. It looks like that. So this is super cool. I'm gonna cancel that. So these are the duotones. You have other ones under Photogenic, for example. Photogenic is a collection of filters, kind of like Instagram filters. So Photogenic, see all, you will have a bunch of them. And they are classified by categories. You have your natural looking ones, warm, cool, vivid, soft, vintage, monocolor, color pop. So color pop, you can go kind of creative as well here. It's some kind of funky stuff going on. I like that. This is nice. So yeah, so this is Photogenic. I'm gonna cancel and go back. And then you have more complex effect, like you have your Letter Mosaic, kind of like the matrix kind of thingy going on here. Again, so you can reduce the number of columns. And you see these are basically letters. So you are made out of letters, numbers, which is pretty cool. Cancel. You have your slice. Okay, so different slices, you can slice yourself. And again, you can go granular and adjust a bunch of settings here. Okay, you have Pixelate. I like Pixelate. Actually, let's just go for pixel. You can create pixel art with yourself, with your portrait. You can add more pixels, less pixels. So a good bunch of pixels would be around 70. And there you go, you create your pixel art of yourself. That's pretty cool too. And then you have also here at the bottom, more effects. So you have paint effects, bad TV, color mix, liquify, screen, trippy, and vision simulator. Never tried the vision simulator. Apply color blind filter on an image. So this one is an accessibility feature, I guess. Addy Apps helps you have free access to 8 color blind filter for vision simulation. Okay, so this kind of shows you how colorblind people can actually see your design, I imagine, so that you can be aware of certain things you shouldn't do maybe with your design. So this is actually super cool if you want to really be aware and be creating content which is super accessible for everyone, which is important. So I recommend you try this, you use this. I should myself also try it. This is a pretty new feature, I've never seen it before. All right, so I think I have covered all the different features here to edit your photos. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and are now ready to really transform, edit, and create anything with your photo. I will leave a link here to a video that Diana created to help you be creative with your photos and use them in different ways. So make sure you watch this one. And that's it for me. Thank you for watching until the end. We appreciate your support. I will see you in the next video.